Hey guys, welcome, it's Sharon. So in this video I will be sharing some advice and tips on how to have a affordable budget trip to Mallorca. So now I know Mallorca is a place where you can have a cheap holiday, but I am going to show you some things that help me to lower the cost even more, and just sharing some things that you could do to have an even cheaper holiday than you would have had. So obviously, you know from my previous video, which I will share the link to, tips for solo travelers, I went to Mallorca. I went there about 2-3 weeks ago, and I will just say it was amazing and it was really nice. So I'll definitely recommend you going to Mallorca. If you are clicking this video because you are planning to go to Mallorca, you've booked your ticket and you're ready, or you're like still thinking and trying to work out the logistics, I'm your girl, because I will show you some things that I did that helped me a lot. So the way this video will go is very different to my previous budget video to Switzerland, which you can check out. In this video I will split my points into 4 parts, so flights, accommodation, transport and food, just to make it a bit more clear. So starting off with flights, the best way to get a very cheap affordable flight if you're traveling to Mallorca or anywhere in general is to book your flight during the off-peak seasons. So when I say off-peak season, I mean during the time where students are still in school and when there aren't any major holidays. So for example, during the Easter holidays, Christmas holidays or summer holidays, flights are going to be way more expensive because a lot more people are traveling and a lot more people are out taking their annual leave. So how you go about finding your flights will differ depending on where you're from. So for me, I went on Skyscanner, and Skyscanner is a really good search engine for finding flights because it shows you a range of different prices from different competitors. It gives you an option to choose the cheapest date or month, and it shows you prices of flights per day, and it just enables you to, you know, have a bit more freedom in choosing when you want to travel and who you travel with. So for me, I didn't actually go during an off-peak season. I went during the Easter holidays, so the first week of the Easter break, and surprisingly the flight tickets were considerably cheap for that period of time. So my flight came up to £45.72, which is a good price. However, if I was to have booked a week earlier or 2 weeks earlier or even now to travel now to Mallorca, as it's now an off-peak season, as most people are back in school and in work, prices would be considerably cheaper, probably like maybe £10 or even £20 cheaper if you're lucky. So yeah. And another tip that I found is that it's best to travel during the weekdays rather than on a weekend. People tend to travel for like long weekends or during the weekend for like a 2-day break, and I have found like traveling on either a Friday, a Saturday or a Sunday is quite expensive, and the prices will increase because there are a lot more people doing it. But if you can't help it, you can't help it. So now I am going on to something more specific to Mallorca: location, you know, hotels, accommodation and all of that. So here we go. Mallorca is generally a cheap place to stay. You can find very affordable and really good quality hotels in Mallorca. There are a few areas that you can stay in whilst in Mallorca, and those areas are, forgive me if I butcher the pronunciation, I'm sorry, my Spanish is getting better in Jesus' name. So you can stay in Palma de Mallorca, which is the city centre of Mallorca, or you can stay in the beach areas, which is primarily known as Es Arenal and Playa de Palma. So Palma de Mallorca, the city centre of Mallorca, is generally more expensive to stay in terms of hotels. However, you can find really cheap hostels, and I will leave some links to some hotels and some hostels if you do desire to stay in the city centre. So moving on to the beach areas, so Playa de Palma, Serenal and Can Castilla. The hotels there are so beautiful and so cheap and so affordable. There are so many hotels by the beach, and depending on how many days you're staying and how far in advance you book it, you can find really cheap and affordable prices. One tip I will share with you is that it is cheaper to book directly with the hotel than it is to book through a search engine such as bookings.com, hotels.com or Expedia. So for me, when I was searching in terms of hotels, I decided to stay in Hotel Oleander, which I'll go into a bit more detail in a bit. And on booking.com the price came up to £164 minus tourist tax. But when I booked online directly with Hotel Oleander, it came up to 164 euros, and when converted to pounds, I found that I saved about 16 pounds. I can't remember the price I paid exactly, but I will leave it in. I think I paid about 140 something pounds, which saved me about 16 pounds, and that was including the tourist tax. And I just want to say, don't worry about tourist tax, it's very cheap. There is a tax that you have to pay for being a tourist, but like for me, I was there for 5 days and I think my tourist tax was about 2 euros. So that is nothing you have to worry about. It's nothing at all, like literally nothing. So going on to the hotel I stayed at, I chose to stay at Hotel Oleander. I want to just say that it was a very beautiful hotel and very affordable hotel. You know, like I said, I paid about £146 for 4 nights. And online it says it's a 3-star, but I would give it about, you know, 3.7, you know, stars, because it was just so good. And I'll just say that the pictures actually do the hotel justice. Like, Hotel Oleander's rooms look exactly like how it is in the pictures, and I was just like, rah, okay, I see you. And like, I came in and I was just like, wow, this looks like a good hotel, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, the hotel is really beautiful and very, for the price, it's so good. There's a balcony for everyone, so if you're lucky enough, you can get a view of the whole area. But for me, I didn't get a good view. I won't lie, my view wasn't the greatest. My view was a view of other people's hotels, and as you will see from some footage that I will insert in the video, I didn't really video my view because I didn't want people to be like, who's this girl videoing me in my balcony? And I didn't want to invade people's privacy, basically. Hotel Oleander is a 2-minute walk from the beach, so I will say you won't have a view of the beach if you do stay there, but you will have a nice view of like loads of trees and yeah. But like I was saying, Hotel Oleander is a 2-minute walk away from the beach, like Playa de Palma, and it's just so nice to and so convenient to be very close to it. You don't have to travel too far or walk too far. The location is great. The receptionist, like customer service was amazing. Everyone there was lovely. So yeah, it's a good hotel. Okay, now moving on to transport. There are 2 main modes of transport in Mallorca. So you could either take taxis, and there is an abundance of taxis in Mallorca, or you can take the bus. I will say the cheapest option, obviously, because this is a budget video, is to take the bus. The buses run quite frequently and there are quite a few routes. It's quite easy to take the bus. Like, the bus drivers are really nice and really helpful. If you're lost, you can like ask them and they will help you. Their English is reasonable depending on who you may get as a bus driver, but they're all willing to help. Bus tickets, apart from the airport route, which I'll talk about in a bit, are €1.50 for a single ticket, which I would say is very reasonable. So bus routes from the airport, so this is the bus 1 if you're going to the city, Palma de Mallorca, or bus 21 if you're going to the beach area, so Can Pastilla, Playa de Palma, Es Arenal, are £5, and that is for a one-way. So the times you would be taking this bus anyways is if you decide to take the bus from the airport to wherever you're staying, and that is €5 when you're going to your hotel and €5 when you're going back to the airport. So in total you'll be spending, you know, £10 on your transport to and from the airport. And I would say don't let that throw you off, because it works out cheaper than if you were to take a taxi. By all means, if you want to take a taxi, but for the purposes of this video, as it's a budget video, I would strongly recommend that you take the bus. It's very easy. There is like maps. There's a really clear map on the bus stand that shows you all the different stops that it goes through. There are people at the bus stops that can help you, especially if you are at the airport and you don't know where to go. And Google Maps is your friend, but there are like maps on the bus stands that can help you, and are in English, are in French, are in Italian, are in Dutch as well. So they're in a range and a variety of languages. And you can always walk as well. And now I'm not suggesting that you walk from the airport to your hotel. I'm talking about if you were at the beach area, so going from Can Pastilla to Playa de Palma or going towards Es Arenal. It's very nice, you know, walking along the beach, and it's like as you're walking you're saving money obviously, but you are taking in the views, you're taking pictures and just taking everything in around you, and you don't even realize that you're actually walking to wherever you need to walk to. So for example, I walked from where I was staying to Can Pastilla, which is like a 30-20 minute walk. However, as I was walking on the beach, walking by the pier, taking in like the scenery around me, and I found that I got to where I needed to get to, and it didn't feel like I was walking for ages, because it was like I was just enjoying myself. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is food. And I just want to say, guys, food in Mallorca is cheap. It is cheap. And in terms of like convenience stores, because I know I mentioned that in one of my other videos, when I went to Switzerland, I found that in Switzerland it was cheaper to go to a convenience store and buy stuff there. In Mallorca, I found that it was the opposite, that going to a convenience store was less value for money as compared to going to an actual restaurant and eating. I found when I went to a convenience store, because I went on the first day I arrived in Palma de Mallorca, I had a plan. I was like, yes, I'm just gonna go to a convenience store, get some snacks, get some things that I need, so I'm not spending too much money. I got about 5 items, guys, or 4 items, and my shopping basket came up to a bit more than I had expected. I think it was about 10 euros something, which isn't too bad, but I could have gotten a large meal for the same price and I would have been filled and satisfied, you know. So yeah, there are so many convenience stores as well. There are so many convenience stores, like too many, that you can go to. But yeah, I hope this video, like I said, made sense. If it didn't, please ask me to clarify and I will clarify. Mallorca in general is an amazing place and an affordable place. So if you want the views, if you want to relax, if you want to just chill, but you don't want to spend too much money, go to Mallorca, and go when it's hot. Just get that hotel by the beach, get that beach view, just enjoy yourself, and you don't have to break your bank account. So yeah, bye guys.
Shit, I got my guard with me. 50 times.